let's stick on the mitochondria a bit here and talk about there's things like eating whole foods, or again, we're going to get into time restricted eating here in a bit. So there's things that we can do, but is there ways that we can amp up our mitochondria so they can work better? And two, is there ways that we can help our body produce more mitochondria so that they can, you know, produce more energy when we provide the food and the oxygen?
Yeah, that's what's a lot of the exciting research in time restricted eating, intermittent fasting, fasting has to do with everything that you just mentioned. So that's actually a really good segue. First of all, I've been writing about intermittent fasting, time restricted eating longer, I think, than anyone. And I'm welcome to be corrected. So far, no one's come forward to correct me. But in my first book, Dr. Gundry's Diet Evolution, which I wrote in 2006, I actually had an entire chapter about time restricted eating. And my editor, bless her heart, said, "This is crazy. This is nutty. And this book is nutty enough. I'm not going to let you do this. We're throwing this chapter out." And I said, "No, no, 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 no." I said, "Look, I've been doing this now for 6 years. Here's the literature. Here's how it works. You got to let me have it." She says, "Okay, I'm going to let you have 2 pages to make your case. But, that's all you get." So if you actually get the book, you don't have to. There's 2 pages on time restricted eating. I saw her at Mind Body Green last year before COVID, and she came up to me, Heather Jackson, and she said, "First of all, I have to apologize. You were right. You were so far ahead of your time. I should have listened. You've been right about all of this." She said, "How did you know way back then?" I mean, this is long before the 5-2 diet, long before Jason Fung. "How did you know?" I said, "Because, I've been doing this for 6 years, and I follow, research and look at my patients and look at me." Anyhow, so why is this so important? A couple reasons. Normally, and we talk about this extensively in the book, your mitochondria need downtime. They need to have time where they don't have to do a lot of work. They need to repair themselves. We've talked about the damage that's done constantly, these poor guys trying to make energy. So they need repair time. And what's exciting is that repair process begins to start about 12 hours after you stop eating. It literally takes that long for all the mischief to kind of get cleaned out of your mitochondria. Now, if you think about it, 12 hours would be a fairly routine, way back in the good old days, eating schedule. You might eat breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning and you might finish dinner at 8 o'clock at night. You would have a 12-hour window, most of the time you're sleeping, to let your mitochondria repair themselves. But work by Dr. Sachin Panda at the Salk Institute in San Diego shows that the vast majority of Americans now eat fairly continuously for 16 hours a day, from the second they get up to the minute they go to bed. So that gives us now an 8 hour for the average American, which doesn't even begin to start to undo the damage, much less repair. And there's a beautiful, getting to the next point, Italian athlete study that I think everybody should read and understand. So mitochondria will repair themselves, will go through downtime if you give them bare minimum of 12 hours. If you stretch that out even farther, two things happen. Number one, the mitochondria have even more time to do repair work. But the really exciting thing is, the longer you stretch this period of time out to, say, about 16 to 18 hours every day, you actually tell the mitochondria to make more of themselves to actually share the workload. And it's called mitogenesis. And it actually has to do with the time that we actually switch over to burning free fatty acids as a fuel. And we go extensively into why most of us can't burn free fatty acids as a fuel. So Italian athletes, they take two groups of Italian athletes. They give them the exact same meals. The one group has to eat a 12-hour window. They eat breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning. They eat lunch at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They finish dinner at 8 o'clock at night. The other group, same meals. They eat breakfast at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They eat lunch at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They have to finish dinner by 8 o'clock at night. So they're a 7-hour window. Same food, same exercise program. What happens? The folks who eat a 12-hour window, they don't lose any weight. Their muscles are great. Athletic performance is wonderful. The athletes eating a 7-hour window lose weight, even though they're eating the exact same amount of food. And their marker, which I talk a lot about, insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, which is one of the best markers for telling you basically how long you're going to live and how long you're going to live well, goes down, and the other guys don't. So they get this, and their exercise performance is great. So, wow, I get to eat the same amount as these guys who are eating over a 12-hour window. My health markers improve, and I lose weight. Why wouldn't I do that? And it's because these mitochondria have made more of themselves, and they've actually, in a bizarre sort of way, they're taking it easy, but they're making as much energy as before because they've recruited more guys to help them out. It's a win-win.